Namaste. My name is Dr. Robert Henry Schwenk, aka Dr. Bob for you, sometimes known of as the Maven of Meaning, and I'm coming to you today from my home studio in Norwalk, Ohio. And today's topic is, I was afraid to fall until I learned to fly. The dream reoccurred just the other night. I dreamed I could fly. No big deal anymore, just a few steps running and launch myself into the sky. Not exactly like Superman in the comics and movies, but close. Why do I bring this up? Because I had a recurring dream that I was falling downstairs, which frightened me in my sleep quite often. In our old house, where we lived in Cleveland, Ohio, there was a steep flight of stairs from the ground floor to the second story of the house. My 10 years older brother used to terrorize me by throwing me over his shoulder and carrying me down those stairs. I was frightened, petrified, so much so that for years, well into my 20s, I dreamed of falling down those stairs. Not until I learned to fly in my dreams did I overcome that nighttime terror. I don't remember what precipitated the change from fear to flight. I do remember that gradually over months or years, instead of hitting the hard ground floor after falling down those stairs in my dreams, I arched my back and sailed off into the blue sky. Well, what's the point? Well, I no longer am afraid to fall in my dreams. Fear overcome. This represents for me a major maturation in my life. I learned to overcome fear by positive actions. Yes, it was only in my dreams, but this idea applies in actual life as well. We all have fears. I don't need to tell you that. You may be facing a real fear right now in your life. I could list some here, but I might inadvertently leave yours out, so I won't make a listing. The way for me to overcome my fear of falling was to adopt a new habit of flying. Once again, I acknowledge that this was in my dreams, not actual life. However, I believe the principle applies, waking or dreaming. Face your fears and develop something positive in their place, and you will find new courage. Perhaps you fear asking someone out on a date. How about getting to know that person first through casual conversation with no pressure in your mind for a date? Take the pressure off of yourself by getting to know the other person first. Then, perhaps, the idea of dating can actually come up naturally in conversation. In the meantime, you will be getting to know the other person better, getting better acquainted with the person, and begin to understand them and what makes them tick. Then the first date won't be nearly as awkward as it might be otherwise. I was afraid to fall until I learned to fly. Mature yourself by creating new and better habits in place of old and tired fears. Start today. May you and all sentient beings know happiness and the root of happiness. Namaste.